The waitress almost dropped the plates when she heard the shouting. It wasn't loud, but it was sharp, cutting through the warm noise of the small Toronto diner like a blade. A man in a business suit stood beside a table near the window, his face red. His finger pointed at an older stranger who looked confused and small in his chair. "You're at the wrong table," the man snapped. "Move now!" Everyone looked away. Everyone except the single dad sitting 2 tables behind, his young daughter swinging her legs under the seat, watching everything with wide, curious eyes. He didn't plan to stand up. He didn't want trouble. But something in the stranger's eyes stopped him. Fear, the kind that doesn't come from a simple mistake, the kind that comes from memory. "Sir," the single dad said softly, standing, his voice calm but steady. "It's just a table. Let the man eat." The diner went quiet. The businessman turned, surprised, angry, offended that anyone would challenge him. "Mind your business," he barked. The single dad felt his heart pounding, but he didn't sit down. His daughter reached for his hand, and that small touch gave him courage he didn't know he still had. "This is my business," he replied, "because no one deserves to be treated like that." The stranger looked up, eyes shining, lips trembling, as if he hadn't been defended in years. The businessman scoffed, muttered something about people like you, and walked out, leaving behind silence and the smell of cold coffee. The waitress whispered, "Thank you." The diner slowly returned to life. The single dad sat back down, trying to breathe normally, feeling the familiar shake in his chest he usually hid from the world. He thought it was over. He was wrong. The old man leaned across the table. "You shouldn't have done that," he said quietly. "Not for me." His voice carried a weight that made the single dad pause. "Why?" he asked. The old man smiled sadly. "Because people don't like when you remind them of who they used to be." Something about that sentence hit him deep, like a door opening inside his chest. He saw again the past he worked so hard to bury. The night he had stood by while someone else was humiliated. The night he did nothing. The night his silence cost someone their life. That was years ago, before Canada, before his daughter, before he promised himself he would never be that man again. "I've done worse than sit at the wrong table," the old man continued. "I've hurt people. I've run from it. And today, I just wanted a quiet meal before my hearing." "Hearing?" the single dad asked. "Parole," the man said, eyes dropping to his hands. "After 22 years. The diner felt smaller suddenly. The single dad swallowed. He thought of how people saw him now. A calm father, a good neighbor, a man trying to do right. They didn't know his darkness either. They didn't know the shame he still carried every day. "You defended me," the old man said, voice cracking. "That doesn't erase what I did, but it reminds me that maybe I can still leave this world a little better than I entered it." The single dad looked at his daughter, who was quietly coloring, unaware of the heavy words floating around her. He realized this moment wasn't about the stranger. It was about him, about choosing who he would be again and again, even when it hurt. "We all get one table," he said softly. "One chance at a time. Today you used yours well." When they stood to leave, the old man reached out and held his hand. "Thank you for seeing me," he said. The single dad nodded, unable to speak, feeling something loosen in his chest for the first time in years. Outside, the cold Canadian air bit his face, but it felt clean, honest. His daughter looked up at him and smiled. "Daddy, you did the right thing," she said. He smiled back, eyes burning, knowing she would never have to carry the weight he did. Sometimes life changes not on the right day, or at the right table, but in the moment you finally choose to stand when it's easier to sit. And that choice, small as it seems, can quietly rewrite a past that once felt too dark to touch.